Hi traders, and welcome to today's ACY Securities Forex Market Analysis. My name is Duncan Cooper and I will be your host. Today we'll be focused on the dollar index and the euro to US dollar. So first we'll look at the news items coming out for the week, and then we'll have a look at the charts. Hi traders, just at forexfactory.com. Now today I'm going to be reviewing the euro to US dollar. So I just want to review the news items that could affect that pair this week. So here at forexfactory.com, time shown on my time, Queensland time. And it's quite a light week for news, but getting into Wednesday, just on midnight, we got the US ISM Services PMI coming out. Into Thursday morning, 4 a.m. my time. Used to be 5 a.m, but it's now 4 a.m. We've got the FOMC meeting minutes coming out. So the market might be very volatile at that time if the meeting minutes are a little bit different than expected. And then nothing much after that. We do have on Friday 10:30 p.m. the Canadian employment change, but that shouldn't affect the euro US dollar too much. Alright, so just bear in mind those two items, one on Wednesday, one on Thursday, that could affect the euro US dollar. So let's get to the charts. Alright, first up, just want to review the dollar index. This is the monthly chart showing continued uptrend. Last month we just managed to close above this monthly resistance area at 98.12. MACD's clearly crossed up. Weekly, it's been a bit consolidatory. It's been trying to trade below 98.12 and then moving back above. So last week we came below 98.12 and moved back above. So structurally this is still in an uptrend. Higher top, higher bottom here. Maybe we're forming some kind of bottom here on top of old support. These wicky candles coming down to this resistance area, old resistance area, becoming support and holding back above 98.12. So still holding its trend there on the weekly. So next target would be monthly resistance at 100.39. Daily, rather consolidatory. As you can see, very choppy and sideways. It's getting support down here around about the 97.60 area, but quite clearly in a range. So is it just consolidating to move higher, or is it consolidating to move lower? We'll just have to wait and see. But at least 50% of the makeup of this is the euro US dollar, and that's in a clear downtrend. So maybe this is still going to continue up. So if this continues up, generally speaking, pairs to the US dollar should be moving down, and we're going to be looking at the euro US dollar now. So bear in mind what this is doing. This is rather consolidatory to slightly up. To the euro US dollar, let's get to the weekly chart. Now what happened last week, I've got my levels of weekly and monthly support and resistance drawn in. So I've got a long-term monthly level of support down here at 106.35. Newly formed level of weekly support here at 108.06. Price last week was moving back up to retest 111.21 weekly resistance and 111.86 weekly resistance, and we got short of that level by 1 or 2 pips. So clearly the sellers were sitting at 111.86 defending that level, and we got a nice rejection from that area last week. So all we really need this week is, if we have a week down, this is going to form a lower top. Forming a lower top after a double top, that's just for me a continued downtrend. So I'm just looking for that to happen and expecting that we will over time come down, test 108.06, challenge it, and then can the downtrend really continue and move down to 106.35. Of course, if the Russian-Ukraine war continues and maybe worsens, then I would see a continued downtrend on this pair. So we've got a lower top forming potentially here, just need a week down. Lower bottom, MACD's crossed down, everything looks bearish on that pair, even though we've been having about a 3-week rally, including last week. So let's move down to the day chart. In fact, just before we do that, I just want to put a level of monthly support here, 108.79, that we've been working around. There we go, because that could still come into a level of support if we move down to test that level again. 108.79. To the day chart, trend on the daily is just up. We had the rally last week to a higher point, actually from a lower low to a higher high. So a little bit mixed, but trend is up because we have a higher high. So if we break this low here at 109.45, last week's low, that will turn the trend on the day chart to down. So let's put in support and resistance for this time frame. There's quite a number of levels. If we move back up, we got 111.06. A bit higher than that, we've got 111.37. So we failed all those levels last week. Then lower down, we've got support here, which we're touching at the moment, 109.61. Is that going to give support to the market, or are we going to move through this week? 109.45 is the next one. And an easier one is 109.00 is the last one. So lots of support levels to move through. So trading might be difficult on this pair as we continue a downtrend, assuming we break last week's low. So assuming we can break last week's low, which is this level here, 109.45, we obviously have a number of levels of support to contend with to move down. We've got 109.61 day support, 109.45 day support, 109.00, and then we've got monthly support at 108.79. So I can't see it being easy for this pair to move down, but if the trend just continues to be a downtrend, it will erode through those levels. So in a perfect world, how can we look to maybe trade this to the downside? Now there is a potential that we get support here and we try to put in a higher bottom and we come up and retest these resistance areas. So getting short with the higher time frame weekly trend downtrend that's still in play, the perfect scenario would to be a seller back up at the kind of 111 area. Alright, so moving it down to the 4-hour chart, trend actually on the 4-hour chart is down. If we only get a short-term pullback, because we have lower top moving to a further lower bottom, we may, bouncing on this daily level support, only get a very short-term rally. Alright, could we just back to this area of broken support before then the sellers come in and want to start to push price through some support levels. Alright, so the first option to look would be at this area of resistance here, and that area of resistance is at 110.28. So we might just pull back to 110.28. Of course we could get a deeper move up. My perfect ideal scenario would be a deeper rally, so we come up back up to 111.06 or 111.21 daily weekly resistance, around the 11100 figure level. We fail there, and then I can drop down to a lower time frame, look for an opportunity to sell, and then trade back down to retest support, and then over time ideally we break through these levels. Alright, now price might not give me that. As I said, it might just have a short-term rally, so you'll just have to monitor what price is doing at the areas of resistance on the way back up, and then look for an opportunity to trade on a lower time frame. Now of course price might not rally today, price may just want to continue down. So then if we do start to move through these two levels, if we move through 109.61 and 109.45, then at some point price might come back and want to hold at resistance at this area. Alright, for a move down, putting in a further lower top to challenge 109.00, and then can we over time as a short-term target challenge 108.06. Alright, so however price does its thing, I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to sell a rally on a 4-hour chart back at some form of resistance. And I'm going to try and target as a short-term target 108.06. If you can hold that trade for a longer-term move, then back to the weekly chart. My long-term target at the moment is down here at monthly support 106.35. Okay, so short-term to medium would be 108.06 if these levels of support can break, and long-term target would be 106.35. Okay traders, that's my analysis for today. Have a great trading week. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Want a real opportunity to improve your trading? Join Duncan Cooper in his free 15-part webinar series designed to help you improve all areas of your trading. The upcoming webinars for this week: 5th of April, 7 p.m. Sydney time. Using pivot points to identify key intraday support and resistance levels. Determine the support and resistance buy and sell zones for the trading day. 6th of April, live Forex market review, identifying high probability trading levels. In this webinar, Duncan will analyze the trend, support and resistance and use Fibonacci retracements to identify high probability trading levels on the major currency pairs. 7th of April, what is the figure in Forex trading and how to trade around it? During this webinar, we will look at the importance of trading around the big figures and applying the figure indicator to your analysis. Duncan will combine trend lines with the figure and show you a simple trading strategy.